Hey yo, this is another episode of the Steven from the Old Time Podcast. Listen to my dad, he's awesome.
Welcome to a new episode of Steven from the All Time Podcast. I am your host, the Ayatollah of Hip Hop, the whole damn show, the rated R podcaster, and one half of the podcast tag team champions of the world. With my co hosts.
Hey yo, here's the man with all the titles, the controller of this podcast. If I want to cut
Wow.
something out, I'll cut it. Here I am. It's Milenko. What's up?
And of course, the other half of the podcast tag team champions of the world, aka the best there is, aka the best in the world, aka the Black Eric Bischoff. There's so many AKAs, I don't know what to tell you, but it's me again, Trap all time, ladies and gentlemen.
I love it. Welcome back, boys. I feel like I am a zombie. I am half dead. I have no idea what day of the week it is. I've been super busy, but we're back at it. How the hell do you guys feel? Trap, how are you doing? You are clear as day.
I'm clear as day, right?
Yeah.
You
I
set
love
up.
I love it. I love it. No, I'm well, man. I'm doing well. Some good music came out. You know, I love this thing called hip hop because let me tell you something. Because last year they were this whole big thing, all the blogs, the podcasters who claim to be so-called hip hop heads, are all saying the same thing. Oh, hip hop is this, it's not that. Like, and I'm just thinking and when we record, we get together, we making lists of at least 20 artists and all these art albums, and I'm like, are they only waiting for mainstream hip hop? Like, I don't understand. Like,
Mhm.
and they supposed to be so-called hip hop. Like, so I'm just confused. Like, are they really hip hop? And a lot of those podcasts that claim to be hip hop podcasts or whatever are not even really hip hop podcasts because they're mostly just gossip sites. I noticed and gossip podcast. Like, they don't really put you on to new music or give you anything to be like, oh, you know what? I should go check this out. Like, see what we do here and what this does, and especially when Steven, when he brings artists on. Like yesterday, he had Jay Rhymes on, which is another great episode about the
Great episode.
ECW tape. About the ECW tape. He
Mm-hmm.
had on what you call it? Who else?
Lukey Cage.
Lukey.
Lukey Cage. Yeah, come on, Lukey Cage. So it's like
Skid
that's what
God.
Skid Guard. That's what hip hop podcasts I feel like are supposed to be bringing you, and they're not. They're just bringing you the gossip and shit that is like, what are we doing here? So it's like when they say things like that, I'm like, what landscape of like are they only focusing on mainstream hip hop or like are we doing everything? Underground is still a part of hip hop, whether you like it or not. Like I feel like they use the criteria, they use billboards and record sales too much to be like, oh, hip hop is having a bad year. But it's like, no, outside of that, if you're only focusing on sales
Mm-hmm.
and billboard and what they tell you to listen to, then you're gonna miss out on all this great music that's
Oh
out.
yeah.
Absolutely. You,
You
you know what's
understand what I'm
funny?
saying?
That's why I love having you on. It's the wrestling in you. It's
Mm.
it's the heel in you calling people out. I love it. I love it. Malenko.
Yo, you know what? I'm really am a heel because I also am a hater too. Because that's another time I want to talk about how much hate I have because I'm embracing my hate this year. I told
That's good.
myself I'm embracing the hate this year,
It's good
and like
because
I want to get all these podcasts off. Like I'm glad to see a lot of these podcasts not doing good or whatever. And I love it because make some space for the real podcasters. Get these people out of here. It's
and
the same subjects.
it's good
It's
that you're here. It's good because the hate is not just me now, and
oh,
it's not just me the hater.
see.
Sometimes I feel like I'm just a hater, but
Nah,
there you
it's
go.
not just you because it's like, dude, what are we doing? We got people like everybody can give an opinion. You got these dudes fresh and fit or whoever they are giving dudes advice. If you listening to these guys, you got to be fucking losers because they can't even get girls. And then one of them recently just got the fucking Chinese escort pregnant and like
Oh.
he was trying to get her to get an abortion, and she's like, "No, I'm not doing that."
Oh.
And then his fucking friend is on the podcast crying like, "Oh, when we got death threats and all this." I'm like, "What are we doing here? Get this shit out of here!" And
Trap,
then we got
you have too much time in your day. What are you doing? What are you talking about? Which
and then
planet are you on?
and then we got fucking hip hop artists going to streamers instead of real interview, like written journalists and people like that. They're going on streamers shows. Like this is what we come to. I don't know.
And
I
have
guess we're
horrendous
old.
interviews. I have horrendous
Yeah,
interviews. I've seen some.
yeah.
Oh, there was
Horrendous
horrendous.
interviews.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Malenko,
it's a
you're calling people out too?
yeah. We're calling people out this year. That's what we're doing this year. All of these fake so-called hip hop podcasts. You know what it is? I realize the reason why they're having a hard time covering hip hop because they're not really indulging in hip hop. They're just waiting for mainstream stuff and whatever. So then you see how we go out and search and we
Click.
find
It's
all
for
this.
clicks.
Right. They're not really into it. They just want to do it for clicks
So
and what's hot.
let's talk about clicks. Let's talk about clicks.
But
Because
Malenko,
now
you didn't tell me how you are. I want to know how you are because you're
I'm
drinking a
good.
beer.
I'm
That means
good.
that means you're having a
Listen,
hard, tough day.
Listen, I'm tired. I'm tired as hell. I've been working so much. But listen, when I get on this, my energy comes back. I get refueled.
Right?
That's why we do
Me
this
too.
shit.
That's why we do
Okay?
it.
And this episode, I'm swearing the whole time. Okay?
See?
So
Oh,
you
we
two
got
can go
swear.
and fuck each other. Okay.
Yeah, I love it.
So
Pause,
let's
by
talk
the way.
about it. You want to talk
Pause.
about the
So-
drama? Let's talk about
Let's talk
drama.
about the clicks. Let's talk about the drama. Let's talk about what's going on in the world. Go
So
for it. Kick it off,
underwhelming.
Malenko. Go. It's all yours.
Dude,
underwhelming.
the mainstream we talked about on this episode, guys. Like that came out. Kendrick
Yep.
got this verse. Everybody
got the
took it
best
out of
record, by the way.
proportion. Took it out of proportion. Now people are start calling it a diss and all that stuff. It was just a jab. It was a jab for everyone.
Mhm.
Whatever. Now we got this guy, J. Cole, released the album. Might delete later.
Terrible album. Let's be
No.
honest. Terrible.
No.
Trap, stop it.
Good-
Hold on a
no.
second. You
Hold
can't
on.
say that album is good. It has zero replay value. Malenko, I'm going to
First
get back
of
to you
all-
in a sec. Hold on, Trap. No, that is not a good album. I'm going to argue with you till I'm blue in the face. There is nothing good and replay value about that album. I'm not going to sit here and talk about a J.
this
Cole album
track-
that was terrible.
This track aside, that was a good album. J. Cole
terrible.
was rapping very good on the album. I love the shit
Terrible.
J. Cole was talking.
Hmm.
Very good album. Except even I think the diss track brought so much attention to it. Without that song, it still would have been a good album. Not our favorite J. Cole album, but I don't think but it was a good album.
Malenko,
I-
kick
I
it away,
thought-
please.
I was-
I got to stop this.
I found
Continue.
that was okay. The daylight and Absol.
Daylight.
Oh, that's the
Oh.
Absol. That's the
Oh.
Absol. That's
Oh.
the highlight. I'm tired, guys. That's the
yo.
the highlight of the album.
Chef's fucking kiss. Do you
So-
hear me?
Oh,
And then
what
he
a
deleted-
song.
He deleted the diss record. It's not on there no more.
So I thought it was pretty mediocre. Whatever. It was
Yeah.
it was typical J. Cole stuff.
Right.
It was no boomer. That it was just good.
Mhm.
Nothing boomed, nothing outstanding. Just
Yeah.
okay.
I
So
agree.
and then this track released.
Uh-huh.
Everybody thought it was mid, right? What's
What's
your
it
opinion
called?
on that?
Seven
7 minute,
Okay.
7 minute drill. How you guys feel
Yeah.
about it, Steven?
I,
How you feel
I
Oh,
about
liked it.
okay, so
There you
yeah.
go. There
Yeah.
you go.
There's nothing special about it. He wasn't really saying anything. He was borrowing Jay-Z bars.
Yeah.
Okay, like diss tracks. Look, I love I love diss
Mhm.
tracks. I
Mhm.
love diss tracks. I'm a huge fan. I grew up loving diss tracks. It's sport and hip hop. Okay, if we keep it not clean, but if we keep it with no violence and we keep it like it's a boxing match. Okay, if we keep it
Yeah.
that way, then I'm all for it 110%.
I love it too. I love
Okay.
it too.
Right? We all grew up with
Mhm.
this
I
stuff.
love it.
Kendrick Lamar, when he pops up with a diss, okay, he's not naming you. He's really he's jabbing you. Like the guy's coming out and he's jabbing you, and he's coming correct with that shit. Okay, he's going to. It's like round one. Okay, He's not gonna
And he
KO
makes it
you.
catchy. And he makes
Okay.
it catchy. That's tough.
He makes it make sense. So if he's coming first, or is this second? Second, sorry. He's coming second. So I would say round 1, he's coming in. Okay. And he comes out with something so strong, and he makes you look weak, and you come out with a 7-minute whatever you call the song, and you're borrowing Jay-Z rhymes from Takeover. You lost already. You're losing. First of all, Milenko, you mentioned something to me, and I know you're gonna say this: punchlines, right? That's one of the main things. There was nothing that stood out. Okay.
I feel like he released those punches knowing he's not believing himself. Going at Kendrick's music was the worst mistake he could have done. He could have gone to anything else, make fun of anything else from Kendrick, but don't go against his music.
Yeah.
We all know, even J. Cole know. Like everything he said about the albums and stuff, he doesn't believe that. He doesn't believe that. We are like, if you really want to go against him, like, don't go there. Don't go there. His albums are way too powerful. Kendrick has way too many powerful albums. J. Cole, that was the biggest mistake. And yeah, I think it was really mid. How you feel about it, Trap?
Hold on. Before you go, are you going to go to the third person?
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Finish.
okay,
I want you to finish the story before I
okay,
go
so
into it, because I'm gonna go on this crazy rant. Like, trust
okay,
me.
good. So then he on this festival, the weekend, he goes and apologizes. How do you guys feel about the apologizing?
To be honest, I wasn't really upset about it, like how everybody was making a skeptical of it. I just was like, it's typical J. Cole behavior. But like, I really wasn't too offended by it. I mean, I kind of really didn't care. I just was like, he don't want to do the sport. But I'm just like, why would you do the record if you weren't going to do that anyway? So I didn't really take it to heart like a lot of people did. I feel like people were bored and they got nothing to do, so they took it to heart.
Yeah, you, Steven?
You lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
It's okay.
So-
You tapped out.
White flag.
MJF throwing the white flag for Cody Rhodes.
So then what happened next, Milenko?
So then he apologized. I think it's the biggest mistake you should have. It's dude, you're in a battle. Let's go. And the main thing I want to say about the apologizing to me is everybody knows that Kendrick and J. Cole don't hate each other. Okay.
Right.
Everybody knows that. So with a diss track like that, light like that, don't apologize. If he would have gone to his wife, if he would have gone to his kids, if he would have gone to some personal hurtful, then you can apologize and feel you don't. I get it. But dude, we all know it's competition. It's just competition. We all know. So why apologize? You're right. It's like, why do you apologize? And any sport, when you get a big hit on a player, it's a clean hit. You don't see the other guy apologizing. It's a clean hit. You're in the game.
Yes, sir.
Put your head up, dude. That's what you sign up for. So I was watching the Canadian game. That's why I got the hockey reference. But
No, good.
so yeah, I feel like that's crazy. That's a crazy thing. And now Drake.
Oh yeah, get into that, please.
And now Drake with the bars. It's a leak song.
Of course, wait. So accordingly, first they were like, "Oh, we don't know if it's AI or if it's really." All right, see, this is the scary thing about AI that I was talking about. That everybody was saying. It's scary because that can be a thing, but then it's also an artist can use that as a way to feel like, let me test the waters to see how this is going to be received, which I don't like. And Drake did that. I'm pretty sure somebody in there circling like, oh, let's use it was AI, it might be AI to see if it's received and then how it's received. Then oh, it's Drake. Even though they received it, even though it was proven to be Drake, it was still a mid diss. Didn't like it at all. Nothing sticks out about it, about that diss. So far, Kendrick Lamar has the best diss song because you can actually play it as a record. I I don't know what J. Cole's doing, but like I said, I'm not as mad at him as anybody is. It's whatever. But Drake, I don't know what necessarily say it's him. It's more of his fans because they keep trying to rewrite history and create narratives. Like Drake fans, Drake brings out something different in grown men like that I haven't seen, and it's just so strange to me. Like it brings out some of the worst takes on Twitter, Instagram,
Crazy.
like podcasts, like some of these dudes. It's like, are are Drake paying you guys? Like, are you part of OVO to say these things? Like, you got guys saying like Drake is not a better rapper than Lupe Fiasco or
Oh,
Black Thought, and it's like on no planet is Drake a better rapper than
dude,
Lupe Fiasco or Black Thought.
I
I
had
gotta
the
I can
add.
same
name,
thought as
I
you.
can
I had the same
yo,
image of Mel
I
saying that thing. I
yo,
was
I
like,
gotta add.
how?
I
I
gotta
can
add.
name 10 I can name like 10 other rappers that rap better than Drake. Now, if you want to talk
10.
about star, I mean, I can name go. I'm just saying right
You can
now,
name
currently.
50. You can name
But
50. Yeah,
the
you can
point I'm
name
trying to,
50, Trap.
I probably
Stop it.
can't. But the point I'm trying to make is, are we talking about popularity or are we talking about the skill of
Mhm.
rapping?
Yeah,
If we're talking about the skill of rapping, there's no planet
Mhm.
he raps better than Lupe Fiasco or Black Thought.
never.
But that being said, now again, Drake fans are depressing. They keep trying to rewrite narratives. And my thing is, I'm a fan of all three of them. You understand what I'm saying? And I
Mhm.
can appreciate. My thing is this: people need to get out of their head. You can like somebody and be a fan of them, and just not like some of their work. Is that's just what it
It's
is.
that
I'm a
You
simple.
Drake
can't,
fan
but you can with Drake. Like it doesn't.
because,
Like I've had people tell me that Scorpion is their favorite Drake album.
Oof.
hey, that's some people's. I after like Take Care. No, not Take Care. What, what was
If you're
that
reading
one?
this,
No, what was the one after that? I
Uh,
forget when he's sitting on top of that building in Toronto.
oh,
Like
that's
that was the
views,
uh,
last views.
views.
Yes, that was even that took me a while to like. That was like the last little Drake that I really liked. Like,
Mhm.
but one thing is this: he has so much music. If I want to listen to Drake, I'll go listen to Drake that I like.
mhm.
That's
Mhm.
the good thing about streaming and music now. So like, whatever I don't like about Kendrick, I'll go listen to Kendrick. This need to like they have to constantly reinvent themselves and do all this. Drake doesn't have to. With that being said, also he lost to Pusha T, which is okay. You got Drake fans still all these years later talking about some. Oh, you when you think about it, that Pusha T, this no, he killed Drake. Drake went to LeBron James' show like he was his father and was like, "Oh, he took it too far. He took it too far." And I wanted to. He literally said he wanted to put his hands on somebody over a battle, and so now they're trying to make excuses like Drake doesn't do that. These are things Drake does.
Mhm.
You understand what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
So
yeah.
it just blows my mind how oblivious a lot of these Drake fans are, and it just fucking kills the vibe of Drake, and it makes me hate Drake. Even it just makes me hate it. Like, bro, I can't deal with this. Like, he's getting to the point where like if even if he's losing or having a down, they're gonna talk about other things like, oh well, he has more money. Like they do the same thing with Jay Z. Like Jay Z lost battles too, but every time they always bring up his money or things like that. It's
Yeah,
like I'm just talking about rapping,
yeah.
okay? Like and right now this battle is so underwhelming. I feel like people are gassing it up because again, like I said in the beginning, a lot of these podcasts and so-called hip hop enthusiasts don't really pay attention to hip hop. So they're so excited for this. But me, I'm just sitting there like, I'm not really excited about it. The records aren't really that good. We got to figure out if this is AI or this is not. This is not real rap. If this is back in the day, the game would have gave all of them 100 bars. Are you
With a
fucking kidding
video,
me?
with a
With
video,
a
freestyle
video,
video on
freestyle
spot.
video, and then if he
Yeah.
would have said something again, he would have came back again with another 100 bars. Like,
Same
do
for
you
In
know
like
how
Cameron.
five in
Think
like
like a
do,
five
Cameron or something
do
like
minutes.
you
that.
5 bit? Yo, do you know how ill it was back in the day to listen to an 11-minute diss track from the game just
Yep,
spitting? Like,
yep.
you understand? Like, I come from that era of hip hop. Like, with Joe Budden and Ransom was dropping their diss record every day at each other. Monday, Ransom will come out with a record. Then Tuesday, Joe Budden will come out. Oh, okay, Wednesday, another. It's like, and then it was just the effect and the appeal. The radio,
Mhm.
you're waiting for your favorite DJ, Funkmaster Flex, K say to debut the diss record. Now we getting it from fucking blogs and people like academics. Like that's what we're doing. What are we
AI
doing?
bullshit,
Yeah.
and people not really listening to what's going on. You see
Yes.
the name behind it, and you're
Yes.
just like, oh, he won. Oh, we
Yeah.
just heard a snippet from the song. He wins
Yeah.
the
Like
diss.
I don't want to.
No,
This is not.
we
This is not it.
we forgot one point. And by the way, the Drake diss is
It's
it came
so
out, but
bad.
it's not even you can't find it
It's not
anymore.
even. Yeah. It's not
Right?
doing
Yeah,
nothing.
it's a leak. It's a
Okay,
leak.
it's a
Yeah.
leak. It's not even a. It's not
The
even.
leak.
It's yeah.
Yeah. Leak.
Yeah.
But what I love
Uh.
about this whole thing, and I sent you guys both this last night, Rick Ross is in the
Oh.
mix.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
that
forgot
guy.
You
Let's
know
be
what's funny
honest.
about this beef? This is how so underwhelming the beef is. Like I even forgot Rick Ross is in the beef.
But
Rick
I
Ross
it's
forgot,
getting
so
and
into
I
that.
like
fun.
Rick Ross,
I
and that's
love
another thing
Rick
too.
Ross. Malenko, you know how much I like Rick Ross.
No, I
Having
love
Rick
Rick Ross
Ross
too.
in this beef and just poking the bear at Drake is so much fun because
I
Rick Ross could rap.
Yeah, but I feel like
Yes,
it's purely
hold
for
on.
clout. I
Yeah,
think
I
it's
love
purely
Rick
for
Ross.
clout. It's like
You
everybody forgot about Rick Ross and he's trying to get
no,
into
you know
like, hey
what's
yo,
funny
I'm
about
here.
this too?
Yeah.
Drake fans too. Another thing, trying to write off Rick Ross like Rick Ross wasn't him before Drake. And this is what I be forgetting. I have
Oh
to
yeah.
ask, how old are you? Because if you weren't there for that, then just say that. Because Rick Ross was him before Drake or
Oh,
anybody. So like,
100%.
we're not gonna
100%.
do that. And it's like Drake, like I said, Drake makes these people lose. They what does Drake have on these people? Or does Drake is Drake buying these people off? Like
It's
what
a
is it? Like
cult. It's a
Power.
cult.
it,
Yes,
That's
I feel
it's
power.
like
weird. It's weird
it's
cult
very weird. It's
culty
like
stuff.
everybody wants to be. It's like everybody wants to be near him. Like I don't care about his house, none of that. I just care about if he can rap good, and he hasn't been rapping good as of lately, and that's okay. People act like if you say that you're not a fan or that's bad. It's
Yeah.
like no.
But
I say
listen.
that about all my artists. I say that about J. Cole. I said I don't like
Mhm.
KOD. People like, oh, I like it. I don't care. I didn't like To Pimp a Butterfly. That don't mean I don't like Kendrick Lamar. It is what it
You're
is.
crazy, but it's okay. And
Artists, listen.
you make no
It
sense,
happens,
but
but for me, the main thing, I think I'm gonna go another direction because
Mhm.
I'm gonna give credit to Drake
No, I
because
give credit to
you
Drake.
need to think that like Future came out with a new album with Metro
Yeah.
Boomin, the second part. He has J.
Mhm.
Cole on it and he has
Mhm.
ASAP Rocky. ASAP Rocky
Mhm.
is dissing Drake. So
Yeah.
now we got
Yeah.
everybody dissing Drake. Okay.
Yeah. I don't.
And
Yeah. It's weird.
I was
Yeah.
talking with one of my friends and we're like, I told them the same day the leak released. And
Mhm.
we were talking in the morning. I'm like, dude, Drake right now needs to release a diss and go at everyone. And he did it. And that, I
That
think,
wasn't impressive.
for me, I give him credit for that because he went for everyone.
Eh, it
And
was
some
still
of people
bad.
would have not done it. It's
Some
okay.
people
I
would.
think I think that this is not that bad. I don't think that
If this
this is
was the
bad.
game, he would have gave them 100 bars
Yeah,
in
but I
running.
think
Okay,
what I think
like what are we
he
talking
didn't make
about?
it. He didn't make it. I don't think it's
Nah,
bad. I don't think it's bad. I think
this is
he tried to make it more catchy than everything.
eh,
People still remember those lines like "Give me 50,"
no.
the Metro
Give
Boomin
me
drum
50.
line, the Rick Ross line was pretty funny. I think.
I don't. Yo, you know what? I don't remember anything from that song. Okay,
No, he said.
no, just stop.
I
Listen,
liked it.
I
I kind
like
of liked it.
listen. I like Drake too. Okay,
Mhm.
but let's be for real. He is not good at that. He's good at doing his subliminal shots. This okay. This wasn't good. Now he's just on Instagram making fun of Metro Boomin, who's a producer and everything. He's like, what are we doing? Make it this record, okay? Now he's trying to act like Kendrick is on time, but it's like we're not doing that. Like Drake does little corny shit like that. That if anybody else done, they would get killed for. And the same people that are vouching for him, that's what gets me so mad. If anybody else for ghostwriting allegations and all of these shit, they would have been killed. But for some reason, they make all the excuses for Drake.
Yeah.
Joe Budden was the first one that said it. Yo, Drake is, I don't know what this new Drake sounded. It sounded kind of long. Guess what? The Little Yachty reference comes out. He's fucking getting songs from Little Yachty and these fucking little kids.
Yeah,
There's no
yeah,
way he
he
can
get
be.
yeah, he
There's no
gets
way
reference.
he can call himself the greatest rapper and then get in fucking songs from Little Yachty and all these young kids to
Yeah,
appeal to the young kids. Okay,
yeah.
you're
Do you
not
guys
young
think
no more. You're
do you
not
guys
young no more.
Kendrick
Let
is
the
gonna
young kids
respond?
be young.
Do you
I
think
don't know
Kendrick is
what he's
gonna
gonna
respond?
do. I
I
don't
don't think
to
so.
be to be honest. I don't even care about this beef.
No.
It's so boring. It's not. It's not a good beef.
Do you
So,
think he's gonna respond, Steven, or not?
Uh, he doesn't need to. That's
He's
the
not gonna
thing.
do it. I
He
don't think
doesn't
so.
need to. I think the right now all these beef diss tracks has gone into just it totally left. Rick Ross is in it. Let Rick Ross and Drake
The
go at it.
Weekend, ASAP
The
Rocky,
weekend, and at the end
Metro
of
wait,
Boomin.
the end of the
AOP is
day,
back in NXT.
and at the end of the
Oh,
day, thank you, Trap, for watching
I'm sorry.
wrestling while we're recording,
I'm sorry.
and Malenko for watching the Canadians while we're recording. But it's so in a different light right now. It's just like keep it there. I rather have a Rick Ross and Drake beef because Rick Ross is just funny. Like Rick Ross is showing up with a Drake hoodie on. He Drake is calling Rick Ross fat with his big titties
Yeah.
out. Rick Ross is saying that Drake had a nose job. It's comedy. Stay there in your. It's fine.
He
Keep
said he
it
got a
there.
BBL. He said he
But
got a BBL.
do you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, they're
Drake
gonna.
getting a BBL is
It's
funny.
it's not gonna be what people want. It's not gonna be what we want. It's gonna stay there. They're gonna go at it. We're not gonna be happy with it. We're not Drake fans. We're not part of a cult. We're not in touch with our emotions. And it's just gonna be two guys going back and forth. And at the end of the day, they're gonna hug. Okay, this is gonna
Yeah.
be a big old hug. At the end of the day, I love you. Let's be on a song together. Do my chorus. You're my favorite rapper of all time. This was all a joke, and it sucks,
Oh,
but
this is like wrestling right now. That's what they're doing. They're not trying to break
exactly,
kayfabe. Oh, wow.
exactly.
What if they all come out and this is just I'm like, wow, this is crazy.
They break kayfabe. Imagine like,
Yeah,
it could be a
imagine.
possibility. I mean, it's good for
This is good.
it's good for the sport. I mean, I love it. It's the only genre of music that you can
Mhm,
get these songs. You never
Absolutely.
heard Metallica diss Dave Mustaine or
mhm,
Dave Mustaine say a song about Metallica. So that
mhm,
for me, I love it. That's why I love this. I think
mhm.
they did pretty good. I am
I'm,
props to Drake. I have a different opinion. I think he did pretty good.
mhm,
So
I
that's my
guess.
opinion, but that's just mine. So I
Yeah,
can't
no,
wait to
that's
see what
good.
happens. I think it's
I'm glad. Listen, your opinion is very, very understood. Okay, because you're not going crazy.
thank
You're
you.
not so invested. Like some of these, like a lot of these Drake fans are really trying to rewrite history, and they're really saying the only rapper that's better than him is Jay-Z. Like, are you
Yeah,
kidding me?
yeah,
Fuck. So you're telling me there's Jay-Z and then Drake?
yeah. No, 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 no.
There's
Can
What
I
look,
add
are we
one
talking
last
about?
thing? Can I add
What
one
are we
go.
last thing on the
talking
thing
about?
that
Uh,
I wish Drake would have done? I wish he would have put Most Def in a song. It's just one line on Most Def of that dumb shit he said at the
uh,
beginning of the year. If Drake would have done that, I would have listened to his next album.
mm.
That's all I'm saying. If he would have put one
That's
line
what it
just to
took to
Most
get
Def,
you. That's what
uh,
all it took to get you.
if he would have
Not
gone
me.
after Most Def after he said, dude, I would have gone after Most Def myself. He would have said something like that to me. So, yeah, that's just my opinion.
Boys, I am very happy that you got all this anger off of your chest.
Hmm.
So welcome to a new episode of Malenko and Trap and getting in tune with their emotions.
No,
Uh,
I'm just tired of it.
Venting.
I'm just tired of the phony hip hop podcast because like they're literally eating this up, and
Yeah.
me and you were just sitting here like the fact that me and you haven't talked about it like once in a group chat because you know when something happens we talk about it in hip hop. We just like everybody's talking about the beef, and we're just like that's because like I said before. I'm not repeating myself. These other hip hop so-called podcasts or whatever, they're really not about it.
They're not.
They
Yeah,
just wait for
exactly.
mainstream. They don't give you anything new. That's why when you come here, you get people you listen to. You be like, oh, I never heard that person before. Let
Yeah.
me go give that a listen.
Yep.
That's what
hey,
it's about.
hey, I'm interrupting right now, and I want to get to the album reviews. there is a podcast that's interviewing the right artist and
Okay.
is spending time with these artists and promoting these
Abyss.
artists. Exactly. The Abyss
Abyss
podcast is
podcast.
doing that. I
That's
shout them out
about
all the
it.
time. It could get annoying from one day to the next, but you know what? That's the podcast I listen to. That's the podcast that I
Me
tune
too.
in on Tuesdays. That's the podcast that is doing it the right way. And I don't listen to podcasts. I listen to two, three
Creator own.
podcasts: the Abyss podcast, the Busted Open podcast, when I don't feel like hearing people scream about
Mm-hmm.
wrestling, and
Mm-hmm.
the Each One Teach One podcast. That's all
Right.
I really, really listen to. Okay,
The
because you
Abyss
need to do it
podcast
the
is
right way.
correct.
I want to
Yep.
get there, and I want to learn about an artist. I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
learn about an artist and why he's dissing this guy and why he's sad about this guy and who's dissing him in here and why he's crying. I don't want to hear that shit. I want to hear about these artists and what brought them here and why their album is so special and why we're focused on this artist and their growth in the genre of music that we love.
And not only
That's what
that,
I want to do. That's all I want to
shout out
do.
to them. Shout out to them because with podcasts like that and this one, it keeps hip hop alive because it brings the next generation of talent forefront. It gives them more listeners, so it helps
Yes.
them, and then it helps the genre as a whole. And then it stops the narrative. Oh, hip hop is dead. Hip hop is dying. It's like enough with that narrative. There's
Yeah,
so
we
good
should
talent.
record this track for all one podcast for the podcast.
Right?
We should and leak it and then
And
say,
leak
"Oh,
it.
it's a leak,"
And they say, oh, it's AI.
and then we're
And
sorry
they
on
say,
next episode. Like that, That's what
and
we
they
got,
say
guys.
it's AI. And they say, yo, the leak is AI.
Okay, you guys want to transition to albums? Let's talk about
Yes.
Yeah.
reviews now.
Let's. The real reason we're here is because we listen to good music. There's a lot of good
Hmm.
music coming out, boys. And before we
Yeah.
get into it, I was listening to these three albums that we're gonna review tonight. All right, and I thought to myself, because I listened to them on the drive to work, I listened to them in my
100%
headphones. I
understandable.
listened to them at home on my speaker. There's different ways and different places that I listen to these albums, and I wanted to ask you guys before we get into it. Uh, Starting with you, Malenko, because we talk a lot. Trap, same thing for you. We talk a lot. I know you listen to a lot of music at work, Malenko on your drive. But how's the real way that you intake new albums? What's your process into listening to these new albums, Malenko?
For this, I'll go. I have couple listens. I'll go every album. I go probably 5 to 6 times.
Okay.
I drive a lot, so it's in the car. But I always get one listened with the headphones on and with
Hmm.
notes. I take notes for this
Okay.
podcast. Like that's
Hmm.
usually what I do. And
Hmm.
sometimes I just stay late and listen to an album while doing something else. And that's how but lately, because of the reviews, I'm taking just more notes and trying to see how I can describe the sounds more.
Headphones?
Headphones, yeah.
You're using headphones when you're at home, but driving, obviously, it's in your car.
Yeah, exactly. Headphones even when I'm home, yeah.
Okay. And Trap?
Usually, because they usually come out like at midnight. So in the mornings on Friday on my commute on the train, if a new album come out, if it's somebody I like, I just pop that in and listen to it on my commute to work. I'd be like, oh, okay. And then I listen to it probably again if I like it when I get home. Like if I'm cooking, I'll put on a speaker, play it that way. Because sometimes you get two or three like albums that come out, so I try to listen to it as much as I can. So then, and being that they're only like short albums, like 30, 35 minutes, that's really you can
Yeah.
listen to it. So I could probably get like two out through like midday, listen to two albums or whatever, depending on who it is. And then usually, if I have a favorite track or whatever, I usually just replay that back. But usually, that's how I intake new
Mhm.
music for the most part. And then just in my headphones a lot too. So if I'm here in the house, I'll just have my headphones on and I'm just
Mhm.
listening to albums.
It's crazy because the three albums we're gonna talk about, I find that you get so much, you get it so different listening to it on the speaker
Hmm.
than listening to it in the headphones, and
Oh, 100%.
and certain albums stand out way more when you have it in your ears.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like there's so much more to the musicality behind it versus the artist himself. Like just
Mhm.
like the the rhyming and being able to separate both the music and the rhyming. I find that the musicality behind it comes out a lot more into the headphones than just on a speaker. And I've learned
Yeah,
that,
it does.
like,
And it depends on good headphones.
yeah, and I used to take the bus. I used to take the bus a lot to work, and since I got a car, obviously it's 10 years, and working at a place where I can't really have headphones on, I find I've lost that. So having that ability to be home on my day off and having the headphones in and really like Friday, honestly, my favorite day of the week is Friday because I'm home alone. New music comes out and I'm able to have my headphones on in my ear, so I'm able to listen to these albums in my headphones. And then throughout the week I go back in the car on the speaker at
Mhm.
work, etc., etc. But I love being able to hear it in my ears because it just the whole soundscape behind it comes really in full effect. Obviously you need good headphones because if you're using dollar store headphones, you're
Of
hearing
course.
shit. But
Right.
like,
You want to be able to have an eargasm when you're listening to good music.
yeah, and that's where like Luki said in the interview when I interviewed him, is he wants you to hear the gunshots. He wants you to hear
Hmm
like what's going on in the background, and
Like
you're
Notorious B.I.G. his second album. If you listen with headphones on, when he's describing the story of the song, you hear everything he's describing in the
Mhm.
background.
absolutely,
You hear the fucking guy running on the steps. You hear that. You hear the gunshots in the back. Like I'm just like, yo, this is fucking production. That
Yep.
was a great album, by the way. Life After Death.
Yep.
absolutely,
Love that
absolutely.
album.
So we're gonna review 3 albums tonight, today, wherever you are, whatever time you're listening to this. Uh, the first album, Malenko,
Let
please
me.
take it
I'm
away.
gonna cut you off right now,
You
okay?
didn't cut me off. I passed you the
Because
baton.
because the first album is Super Shredder by Mickey Diamond. Okay,
Mhm.
so for the new listeners, thank you for being here. If the first time listening to us, thank you. We appreciate it. If
Subscribe
you're
now.
yeah, if right now, and if
Subscribe now.
you're an old listener, okay, you've been for day one. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. But listen to me. If you've been listening to us, we review Mickey Diamond for a long time now.
A lot.
This guy is on a run, okay? And my tone's gonna go up, so bring down your volume, okay? This guy is on a run, okay? He picked up the ball at his zone, at his end zone. He went to the other zone, okay? And he's out the fucking stadium right now. He's still running outside, okay? He might get into a fucking marathon, run the Ironman, and win it, okay? Guys, it's done. It's done. Super Shredder, okay? Mickey Diamond is on a motherfucking run, okay? If you've been listening to us since the beginning and you haven't listened to this album and you don't listen to Mickey Diamond yet, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you? Oh, but I didn't have time. The J. Cole album is pretty good. Shut the fuck up. Listen to this shit. Mickey Diamond released this, okay? And again, I said it every review, every time we go and listen to all these different artists. When I come back to Mickey Diamond and I hear his first 2 bars, I'm like, oh shit, is Mickey Diamond. That's the level. That's the motherfucking level. Okay. So Super Shredder, I popped this shit in, and already this guy is killing it already. The motherfucker has a heavy pen. Okay. His pen is immaculate. Okay. He has structure on his songs. The hooks are getting better every time. And like Lucky Cage said, he has the voice. And when a rapper has a voice, Danny Brown, I was listening to a podcast with Schoolboy Q. He said it to Schoolboy Q. You have the voice. That's a cheat code. And I'm going to say the same thing about Mickey Diamond. He has the voice. That's a cheat code. That's the most important thing for a rapper. He has it. He has the flow. He has the punchlines. He got everything. He got great structure on this song. Is the way he pick beats is crazy good. He can go over a boom bap beat, over a grimy ass piano beat, a drumless loop beat, and he can go over a soul chop. Okay, so what the fuck are you waiting for? Okay, so if you listen to us for all this time, if you have listened to Mickey Diamond yet, what the fuck are you doing? This album, again, he destroyed it. Coffee Beans is my favorite song on here.
Mm-hmm.
Shell Shock, the last song is incredible.
Insane.
Hyperstone, every fucking song, he
I
just
like the
kills.
first song
He
a
just
lot.
kills it. And this album, it's a 9.5 out of 10. I
Mm.
cannot give a 10 out of 10. I will never do it. I don't think I ever gonna do it. And
You will
the
when Redman drops what's her
oh yeah,
name?
Muddy
Muddy Water
Muddy Water
6.
Funny
6.
one is you gonna
So
give him a 10.
and the last thing I'm gonna say about this album, the first one, Orokusaki, is a really good
It's
album.
a really good album.
It's not the one that I listen the most. I think it's one of his most popular. To me, it's not the one that I listen the most.
Same.
Super
Same.
Shredder went top dog for me because I just don't
Mm-hmm.
get all the reference because I'm not a super fan like that. The cartoons,
Yeah.
I
Oh,
don't. That's the only thing for
Mm.
me. I don't get the
Me.
reference because I don't watch cartoons when I was a kid and shit like that. So, but
Um,
again, 9.5 out of 10.
sounds like it
Don't
was
talk to me
fine.
anymore. Mickey Diamond, he's a diamond, clear cut
Mm-hmm.
diamond, dog. He's insane. He's insane. He's insane.
I,
I don't talk anymore.
Malenko, yeah, go sit on the couch with Sting. Look, there's nothing really else that we could say.
There's nothing really else to say.
Like it look, I'll tell you my favorite track on there is Tunes, and that's because growing up, everything that he's referencing, I've watched. I understand the reference. I said it many times on episodes. I don't know what age Mickey Diamond is, but he's probably in the same age bracket as all
Because he
three of us
relates to
here.
us.
He relates to us.
Yes,
He
he relates to
relates
us
to
with the
Steven,
wrestling reference,
Trap,
with the cartoon reference.
Malenko, the Turtles, the Ninja
Yes,
Turtles. All
right.
these references is
Mm-hmm.
after album, after album, after
Album.
album, after album, after album. Hold on a second. He has more than 15 albums after album, and he's going to come out with another 15 in the next 2 years. It is just what we love. It's just, we can understand what he's saying. You're waiting for that artist. Like, look, I listen to about 1 billion artists that I can't,
Mm-hmm.
like, I have no connection with. They just make really good music. Mickey
Right.
Diamond, we have that connection with it. I've said it. I've said it many times. He's talking about what we've loved growing up, and just that cartoons, like, it
Mm-hmm.
makes sense to my brain. Just the
Yeah.
whole album with the skits, with
Mm-hmm.
all these things. Like, let's be honest, Shredder Loves April. Come on, man.
Come on,
Come
I
on.
love that.
Like you guys, let's be honest with each other for 2 seconds here, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We're podcasters, yeah, whatever, quote unquote podcasters. I hate using that term, but we're fans of this music. We're not reviewing it
Mm-hmm.
because we hate the albums. We're reviewing it
Right.
because we're fucking fans, and we wait on Friday like a bunch of children wanting to go to the fucking Toys R Us to buy
Yep.
a toy. We're waiting for
Mm-hmm.
these albums. I'm waiting for it in the mail. My room is so full of these albums, okay? At the end of the day, I am a poor person, okay? Because I'm
I
spending
feel
money on all this stuff. These albums is what we want. They're so good. Like Raw
and this
Duke,
is hip hop.
and Raw Duke gave him that production. Look, Orusaki was really good. Malenko, you hit the nail on the coffin. One of his most popular, but it's not the one we go back to. Super Shredder, I'm telling you now, I could go back to it 1 billion times in a week. Okay? Because
Me too. Same.
it
Same.
makes, like, it's longer. There's length to it. I'm not wanting more at the end of it because he gave me such great
Course.
body of
So-
work. Yes, thank you very much, Trap.
It's longer. It's lengthier. I was like, hey, where you going with this? And he's like, I'm not wanting more after this. And, hey,
Malenko,
yo.
put the pause everywhere for me, please, so I don't get in
So-
shit. But like the song Rocksteady, I have a Rocksteady toy over like
Oh,
like
that
not
hook,
even 2
that
meters.
hook. He just the hooks are getting better and
Better.
better and better.
Yeah.
Rocksteady. When I heard that hook, I'm like, oh, again, he did it again. Every album he has 1 or 2 songs.
You know what it is about Mickey
Great hook.
Diamond? This is what it is about Mickey Diamond. When you think you've impressed and you heard enough, and it's like, because me and Steven had this talk a while ago. We've been like, I hope he doesn't come out with anything this year because enough, not saying that we had enough that it wasn't good. We were like, listen, we want to keep how you call it, not the mystique, but we want to keep the fandom and the love of Mickey Diamond alive. We don't want it to get saturated. But it's like every time you think he hit you with one, then he comes back and hit you with another one, and it's like, how did he top that? It's like you don't think he's gonna top what he just did, and then he comes out and tops it. Because like you said, like everything you said, Milenko, was on point. Like the hooks have gotten better, the fucking storytelling has gotten way better. As you said, Steven, the relatability that he has because of the shit that he's saying, it makes you just be like, oh shit, like I know that. So like you can't beat that. Like he has all the tools what it is to be an MC. You understand what I'm saying? And
Yep.
it's like when you see people always talking about, oh, they want this type of MC, this type of person back, and I'm like, well, they're right there. You're just not paying attention. Mickey Diamond's right there. Lukey Cage is right there. Rome Sheets is right there. Bone D. James is right there.
Yep.
Conway the Machine is right there. You know what I'm saying? It's like these
And we
guys are
can go
right
on
there.
and on.
You
And
can
we can
go
go
on and
on
go
and on.
right. We can go on and on. Like these guys are right there. But instead, you want to pay attention to a beef that's not interesting.
Yeah.
Instead, you don't want to listen to this or the Abyss podcast to get your real hip hop that you want. And that's really needed because if we're going to keep the genre alive, you need guys like Mickey Diamond. You understand what
Yep.
I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
this run that Mickey Diamond has been going on, it's been fucking amazing.
Question: Is there a Mickey Diamond album that you could say is mediocre? Serious question.
Oh, oh wow, that's a good. I'm trying to think.
No, it's impossible. You can't. We're not lying. We can't lie. We're not liars. Like there's no
Because
mediocre Mickey
I
Diamond
do go
album.
back to Orvasaki. I like
But yeah,
I
but my
like
question, Trap, is there a mediocre album from Mickey Diamond? Think of it and come back to me in a couple of months. I'm gonna re-ask you the question next time he pulls out his
yeah,
next album. There's not.
right.
There isn't. Look at the cover of this. For Christ's sake, you can't see it. Malenko, can you pop it up in the middle?
I'll pop it up.
Okay, like it's just like this Foot Clan party. Christ's sake,
And
like
that's another thing that I like
Technodrome.
that he brings
Damn.
back too. He brings back dope album covers, which I think is unique. Like that's really important too. Like even though you can't physically get it, I mean, they do sell their shit. So like that, I think that's part of the reason why they do that because
Bars over
nowadays a lot of these
BS.
albums, right? Because a lot of these things are just they just doing whatever for albums. Like I like the creativity he's bringing back. Like this whole field that people say they miss in hip hop, I'd be like, it's right there. But again, people don't listen to the all time podcast or the Abyss podcast, so they miss out on good things like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
They rather listen to fucking streamers and fucking DJ academics and No Jumper and people like that who say they're the kings of hip hop podcasting. And I'm like, what the fuck is hip hop about your podcast, Adam
Mhm.
22?
Yep.
Like you just sit up there and exploit fucking gang members and have people have sex with your wife. How are you a big
Trap,
three? How
Trap,
are
you're
you a
mad,
big?
huh? Tonight, you're mad.
Oh, I'm on.
You're
Like
mad Trap tonight. Holy
because
shit!
how dare you open your mouth and try to call out anybody? Like, oh, the big three in hip hop podcast is me, Vlad, and DJ
Fuck
Academics.
them. I don't want to talk about these fools.
What's your rating? What's your rating on the
Oh,
album?
come on. Um,
Tough. It's tough,
eight out
man.
of 10. 8 out of 10. Only because I only listened to it twice already,
Okay.
and I want to listen to it again. But that's what it is in Mickey Diamond. Like when I like an album, I'll listen to it over and over. I did that with Nobody Bleeds Like Flair. I did that with Blank Face. I did that with fucking what's the other one?
Oriental
Oh,
James. Smoke
yes,
face.
yes, Smoke Face.
Smoke face. Yeah.
Yes, it's like, come on, bro. It's like that's what I do with Mickey Diamond. Like,
Death
so I
threats. Damn.
yes, that's the one. Death threats. Holy fucking shit.
Yeah.
And it's
I,
like, and I just love like
remember what I
the
told you,
quality of the
Trap? I
album.
asked you a question before. Keep thinking. It's gonna.
Mm.
It's.
Is
Yeah.
you can't really. And you know what else that I like that he sticks with? He finds a producer, and then when they go into the lab, they just create. And that's another point. element too of hip hop that I feel like is missing. It's not lazy.
Mhm.
He goes in with the right producers,
Mhm.
and he also has good engineers because that Nobody Bleeds Like Fear. If you listen to it on good speakers and headphones, like you said, Milenko, it's really loud.
It's loud as fuck. Yeah.
It's loud as fuck, like, but it's crisp as
Yeah.
compared to like other productions or whatever. You can hear the quality and the engineer and the mixing. Like Nobody Bleeds Like Fear is mixed and mastered very well,
I
very
still go to
loud.
it, but yeah, I think it's sometimes it's just too much
It's
sounds
just
at the same. But
too sounds right,
yeah, but yeah,
but
man, what an album again!
what an
Killed it.
album.
And this album and headphones, man. Oof.
You, Steven, how
Yeah.
much you give it? 9, 9, and I give it a
9.
9.5. I get a 9.5.
I didn't listen to it enough, Milenko. I only listened to it 15 times, so
Dude, I listen to it all the time, all the time. I put one of my colleagues I work on to it, and he listened to it first, and he went like, "Dude, this album is crazy." So I went like, "Okay, let's go. I'm ready."
Whoop that trick. Whoop
next
that trick.
next album,
Next album.
next
Trick Williams
album,
is
Eddie Kaine, Last Exit to Crooklyn, produced entirely by Big
Big
Ghost.
Ghost.
Boys, I'm gonna dig into this one.
Go ahead.
This is Eddie Kaine's second offering, fully produced by Big Ghost. This is Eddie Kaine's album to me that makes him stand out the most as an MC. And I'll tell you why.
Tell me.
His last album with Big Ghost was his first offering produced by Big Ghost, and it was kind of like an introduction to what he could do. It brought to the table lyricism, emceeing. He told a story on there. There was a lot of storytelling on there. It was like we listened to Eddie Kaine, we listened to the Eddie Kaine stuff, but this was like an introduction to who he really was. One thing I did with that album when it came out was I went to Brooklyn.
Oh wow!
And I listened to that album while I was in Brooklyn. The album is called "A Tree Grows in Brooklyn."
Yeah.
So the whole time when I listened to the album, the whole time I was listening to it was like, shit, like this album sounds really good, but it makes me want to be in Brooklyn. And I went to visit a friend. I actually came and see you, Trap. You were there too. And being able to put this on in the headphones and being able to be there and being able to really see through his eyes what he was rapping about and what he was putting on canvas for us made sense. Okay. And this second offering, Last Exit to Crooklyn, is just a part 2 to the first album.
Right.
And you wanted more from the first one. This gives you more. This gives you another storytelling. We dig deep into his storylines. We dig deep into what he's saying. There's more of a presence on this. You know what I mean? You know, sometimes a second part to a movie, sometimes it's like
underwhelming.
Shit. Yeah, I didn't need that. But this really gave me the like, wow, like this dude could do a bunch of shit. Like this dude could rap at top tier, like emceeing. Like you can't oversee what he's saying because he's not really telling you anything that's like complex, right? He's just giving you storylines. He's just giving you storytelling. Right. You know what I mean? And he's painting pictures for you of him and where he's from. And just with the cover, like
I love the cover.
Like the cover, there's so much color in the cover. Like it's a cover art or always makes you think about what you're gonna get. And then after you listen to this album, you're like, okay, I get it. I get the whole project. And there's not a lot of boom bap on this. Yes, there's the boom bap tracks. There's a track with Rim, Crooktown, where they go back and forth.
Yeah.
Okay, that's Smith and Wesson.
That's one of my highlights of the album. That song.
Okay,
that was a good song.
Okay,
that beat is nasty.
and it's that boom bap back and forth, top tier emceeing that they do. But there's a lot more of the jazzy soul feel to hear. That light guitar, that background guitar, where he's able to just showcase who he is. And I find also that you don't need to be complex. You don't need to be uh like always rhyming at like 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 Vega. Like you
Like
don't need
Lupe Fiasco.
yes, like Lupe Fiasco. Like those there's MCs for that. There's beats for that.
Mm-hmm.
There's stuff for that, but it's just how your presence on a song and how you show up on your song. And that's what he does. Like he stands out because of his presence. The beats that Big Ghost laid out for him.
They're
You know?
different on this album. I feel like this Big Ghost production is way more laid back.
Mhm.
It's not that much relying on that heavy bass, heavy drums.
Mhm.
I think it's more laid back. Like you just said it,
I think that
Crooktown.
was a problem for me.
Okay, yeah,
Really?
Crooktown. I enjoy Crooktown. Go ahead. What do you feel?
What? Explain, Trap. I
No,
like
I'm
that you bring
saying
that point.
I think because of that, I thought the album just was getting into it. It was just boring, just sound wise.
Mm.
I mean,
Really?
I like the production. I get it wasn't as heavy as the drum, but I'm used to the Big Ghost and them drums and the boom. Like I love that. Like he's good at that. Not saying he's not good at this, but I mean between that and then what Eddie Kane was doing, like I guess it matched because of the storytelling, but I just felt like the album was kind of underwhelming to me.
Mm.
Really?
Mm.
Yeah,
Do you think?
unfortunately.
Okay.
Maybe I gotta listen to it again
My,
because I only gave it like 2 listens, but
which is
um,
fine, but my challenge to you is: have you listened to it in headphones?
yeah,
You did.
yeah. I
Okay.
pretty much listen to everything in headphones.
Really? Because
Mm.
I find that
Yeah.
listening to this on a speaker and in a card, it's not the right setting for it. But when I have this in headphones, like it really
Hmm.
brings me again to Brooklyn. Like it's just
Hmm.
just everything that has to do with it. And I've been to Brooklyn, dude.
Hmm.
Like you're from Brooklyn, right?
Yeah, I know some of the stuff he's saying. I know that what he's
Right?
talking about. So it's like,
Mm.
yeah, it's cool, but I don't know. I just didn't. This project, me personally, I just didn't really enjoy it.
Mm.
I find on this project less is better. That's how I find this is because of again, he's always in pocket. His presence
Always.
his
I'm
presence
not
on here is
denying his rapping ability at
mhm.
all on this album, but it just didn't connect with me.
Mm. It happens. I mean, uh,
Yeah.
for me, me is the other side around. For me, I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
expecting much, and
Mm-hmm.
it surprised the hell out of me. I love this. I love this thing. And like a kind of like Vega did to me, like a kind of what Vega did for me as well with the last album. But this, as soon as it started the wrong era, he puts it out there. So I like that intro. I like the story he tells on that. But for me, like highlights like chain walkers with Planet Asia to go
Oh,
to go with Planet Asia and
I like that.
end on
Yeah,
it is
that
tough.
was hard.
That
That was
stuff.
hard.
The song with Jay Skis, bro. Oh, that's a highlight for me too. Lanier versus King. Oh,
I love
I
JC.
love that thing.
JC's verse is so crazy on it.
Oh man, he killed it.
He killed that.
Crooktown. We talked about it. I love that beat. It's so It's a jazzy beat, but it's sinister. I don't know
mi-
how Big Ghost did that.
misery.
Misery.
Oh,
Misery. I would have loved to hear like a Stove God rapping on that.
you
Type.
want to hear
I
Stove
want.
God on everything.
I really want Stove
Everything.
God everything, but Misery is. I love that song as well. The round table meeting. That's the Pussycat here. Love that
Could
song as
could
well.
never with the singing. I
Yo,
love the singing.
yeah, that's him.
Yes.
He sings good, bro. He sings really good.
Yes,
So
he's in pocket, man. It's there's presence. I'm
oh
telling
yeah,
you.
it remind me like I don't know, it remind me like a bit of a G Unit type of
I get it. Absolutely. The G Unit.
It remind me like of it remind me of a G Unit. I like this album. I really enjoyed this album. I'll go with my final rating right away, but I'll give this a solid 8 out of 10.
Trap.
Like
I'll give it a solid 5.
Okay.
5.
By the way,
I'll
I sent this album to Chief.
Mm.
I told him I need you to listen to this and get back to me.
Hopefully he'll listen to it.
No, he's listening to it. He promised me he's gonna listen to it. I want to see. I want to hear his rating on this. I'm gonna give it a solid 8.5.
8.5. That's good.
And it just came out on the Rap Winkle as a long box set.
Mm.
And you have it already?
No, I didn't. I'm gonna probably
Okay, it's
receive in
good.
like 2 months.
You ordered it.
I ordered it.
You bought it. Fuck.
Of course, I bought it. I have no choice. Trap, I have a question for you before we get into the next album. Do you think you expected something from this album before you went into it, and that's why it might have didn't make as much of an impact?
No, not really. I once I seen Big Ghost and all that, I was like, oh, okay. I like the production and the jazz, but I don't know. It just didn't click with me. I don't know. Maybe I gotta listen to it again.
It happens though.
It might be a grower. It might be that's my favorite thing about albums.
Yeah,
it happens.
It might be one of those that grow me because, like I said, I have my songs on it that I like. Like I said, with Planet Asia, with Jay Skis, like I have some records on it that I like. But
okay.
So
yeah.
Next
album.
album.
I give it an 8. I like this.
Next album, probably one of the best album names of the year. Maybe last year and the year before, and maybe the year before that, with one of the best covers. Look, rock music, like we know, we know. But calling your album Stone Temple Pyrex,
you're right.
Okay, and playing that on the Stone Temple Pilots album, okay, and your album cover, Milenko, please pop up the album cover.
Yes.
Like, it's exciting. Like,
it is. When I seen the album cover, didn't I send that to you?
Right away.
That to you right away. I was like, I love ESTEE NACK, yo.
Funny.
His voice, his funny, his flow, his unorthodox style is what gets me. Like, and he just says the most outlandish shit.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, I love it. Like, never on pocket, but he is on pocket, if that makes sense. It's like the beat kind of works with his unorthodox style, which I think is fucking phenomenal.
For his flow, I was really thinking about it. How can I describe it on the podcast? Okay. And I was like, how can I describe his flow? His flow to me is like, it's super, it's like, it gets you dizzy. It gets you dizzy. Like, bar for bar, he has no space between bars.
Zero.
It's like his bar is one. I was telling that to my girlfriend in the car. I'm like, do you feel when he says something, do you feel like it's only like one big ass word? He doesn't stop. She's like, yeah, I don't understand it. So I'm like, yeah, that's exactly how it is. It's really dizzying. He comes and he goes with his outlandish ad libs. His best ad lib is being ad lib, like go when he does those go.
Yo, I love his ad libs, yo.
So it's just one big. It's like it's nonstop, and there's no end or beginning to the end. You don't really get the rhymes. Like rhymes are in between. There's a lot of similes. He's just fun to listen.
You know what's crazy, and we're talking about ESTEE NACK and probably one of my favorite producers of the last since
Futurewave,
about 2018, 2019.
I love Futurewave.
I'm a liar. 2019, one of my favorite producers.
I love the progression of Futurewave.
Futurewave is the king of the piano beats.
Yo.
King. I think every
Craven is the king of the drumless beats. He's the king of the fucking piano beats.
The piano beats are
just. I love that.
Don't Futurewave's beats? Maybe it's me, but don't
they get better and better?
Yeah, Trap 110%. From when I first started listening to him producing for Daniel's son till now,
Yeah.
like it's like like I did a 360 and it just evolved. But don't his beats on this sound like I'm in a forest and somebody is after me with a knife, like a Blair Witch Projects type thing? Like his beats are so like, yeah, you like, but there's very spacey, very
It's
like
very like not really dark, but
sounds.
sounds. I get what you're trying to say.
Like
Well,
I'm
Subtraction.
terrible,
I mean, on the second song, Subtraction is kind of a scary movie.
right?
My favorite. He gave me my favorite Futurewave beat all time. It's on this album.
I can't. I'm. Yes. Keep that thought. Keep that thought because I think we have the same one.
Oh
We.
yeah.
I think we have the same one.
Okay.
Fuck it. Just say it now. Go.
Keep that thought and just say it. I think Weird Science.
Oh
Weird Science.
fuck.
Okay. It's just that bounce with that.
Mm.
He has that bounce. That bass line is really fun, and that sinister keys going, not the whole song but just some keys going in there, super distorted. I love that beat. Weird Science is my favorite beat he never did, I think.
There's so
He
much
ever did.
like. There's so much sounds in here too.
Yep.
That
But it's good.
well when I yes and look, I'm not gonna lie. It took me a while to get into ESTEE NACK. Okay,
Mhm.
you know that, Milenko.
Yep.
We've had conversations on this podcast about it. I think only really last year, beginning mid when he put out the
Yeah.
album with Vidon.
Yeah,
Mhm.
That's
think
really
so.
what really got me into ESTEE NACK more, where where I was getting used to understanding him and
Mhm.
really knowing who he was as an artist and which direction he was going in, and that I really said, you know what, okay, like this guy is good. Let me go back. But it took me a while. He's not an easy MC to get into. You
No.
said
No, it's
it,
not.
like
Yo, Naxon Jim Duggan.
Mhm.
That one for me put him over for me. I was
Mhm.
like, I I
yes,
like that. Naxon. Just the name is long on the cover. I'm like, yo, Naxon Jim Duggan. I'm
yes.
like, I'm gonna be trapped on Jim Duggan.
And the that's please when we leave after that's put that in your head. That's what you're gonna start saying. But like the one producer albums for him
They
are
work.
really good.
Killer. Yeah.
Like the V Don. Um, he worked with the Futurewave on this. Who else did he work
Hmm.
with?
Superior.
Superior.
Hmm.
Yes, on uh,
Aldivino.
yeah, but when him and Aldovino go to get together, you gotta really pay attention because it's all
Mike Shab from
yes,
Montreal.
Can
Dude, he has an album with full on French Canadian swear
crazy.
words everywhere. That's
And you did,
can I
crazy.
and they
just
recorded that together, huh? By the way, when he
Yeah.
came here with
Oh
Ras
wow.
Fresco, yes, when he came here
Okay.
with Ras Fresco,
can
it
I
was a
say this is the
snowstorm. Yes, go.
can I just say this is a product? Can I just say mainstream, not mainstream, underground is the reason why I see mainstream artists are doing that again now. Because if you notice, all the people you just named, like they have a lot of single produced albums with just one artist,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and they all been like really good. And I guess that's a testament of actually getting back in the studio with the producer and with the artist and creating. And
Mm-hmm.
I feel like now some of the mainstream people are starting to try to do that again. To do that, but like think about all the fucking Alchemist and Bodie James albums. Oh my god, so fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like Rock Marciano being one producer doing his thing. It's like I feel like that influence is trying to get into the mainstream now, because I feel
Mm-hmm.
like that's what's been missing from mainstream. You got all these beats from all these people all over the place, and you just don't make a good product or a good
Mm-hmm.
album. Like lock in with the producer and let's get to work. And I feel like that's what's missed. And I feel like thanks to Underground and Future Waves and the Big Ghosts and the Nicholas Cravens and people like that who lock in with these different artists and give them good product and make good albums
Mm-hmm.
is actually starting to rub off. So I really think that's a testament to that. Because like you said, like what he did for ESTEE NACK, like that goes a lot into the production as well to be able to work with an artist. Because you have to really get to know their feel and get to know them like that. And the ESTEE NACK, the way he raps and he flows, like so unorthodox, but I like it though. Like he'll say some wild. He'll just be like, "Yo, I fucking do the shit," and I'll be like, "Yo, what?" And he just
Mhm.
keep going. I'm like, "Yo, bro, what?" But it's just ill though. You can't deny it.
It's the producer being able to work with him, like you mentioned. Like
Right,
he shines when he's with those one producers, like the
right.
tape with Machacha that came out last
Yeah,
year,
with
Oh,
Machacha. Yeah,
the Giallo Point, Papitas.
yeah.
Papitas is my favorite.
Okay, like there's like all these things that like you're able to tap in, and it elevates him as the artist. And dude, this flow, like think of it. Give him any type of beat, he's gonna be able to rap on it.
Yeah.
Like think of it. Just give him just start banging on a table, and he's gonna take that, and he's gonna be able to do something magnificent with it.
You heard him on
100%.
West Side Gun album. He was
Right?
on there on those trap beats.
Yep. That him and Danielson too.
Yeah,
I
I
need an
love
album with
Danielson.
him and Danielson.
Block
They
Yeah,
Wars.
they
I love
always do
Brian
great
Danielson.
songs. Yeah.
Who?
Block
Brian
Wars is
Danielson?
did I say Brian Danielson?
No, you said
No.
Danielson.
Okay. Okay.
Obsession of wrestling with trap. uh, on this song, Block Wars with Danielson.
Yes.
With
Insane.
Brian Danielson. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that ESTEE NACK works with Canadian producers, works with
hmm
Canadian artists.
With
hmm
Quebec and Mike Schaap. Let's
hmm
go. That's it.
Look, let's not shy away from the album cover. With that being the best album cover, you give that to anybody.
Yo, I
Special,
love that
hey,
album
yeah,
cover.
they'll gravitate right to it. Is this album for everybody?
No.
Not
No,
your no, right?
it's
It's not.
not, and that's okay. Just
Look, I
like
said it.
everybody, just like how many Drake albums are not for us, and that's okay. I
Dude,
don't want to hear him do the
let's
Tootsie
we
Slide.
cannot skip
And,
talking about this
okay.
album without talking about the verse of Rome Street on right
Oh,
here.
Oh,
Oh,
I
a
almost forgot
murderous,
about that. I almost
murderous.
forgot about
That's
that. Yo,
that's why I'm
Rome
here.
Streets
That's why I'm
is a
here.
real, yeah, that's why,
thank you,
Rome
Milenko.
Streets is a really, really good MC. Like, again, like, and this is what I say, like, this is why I love hip hop, bro, because it's like, you got so many good MCs. Like, you got Rome Streets, you got Mickey Diamond. You like I said, the list could go on and on. And as long as these guys are around and making music,
Hmm.
hip hop will never be going anywhere. Like you could keep all your billboards and your record sales because at the end of the day, you still have to prove that you can rap. And these guys go in there every day and they prove that they can rap. And being that they're not at the so-called level where they think they should be, that makes them even more hungry.
They're
So I
all
feel like
hungry. I'm sorry, they're
that's all.
all hungry.
So I feel like if anybody tries to come at them, I put my chances on those guys because they're starving. Like you're taking away from me, and that's the kind of hunger and grit that you need in the game right now.
Yep.
And again, like I said, podcasts like this and the Abyss, it's up to us to elevate. Even if they get one listen, two listen, it helps them. It helps the culture. It helps us grow because then we get more music from them guys. And to be honest, I don't like to keep artists away from me. Like I like to share these people because I want these guys to be.
Yep.
I want these
100%.
guys to have the success. I want the fans. I want other people to know these artists because these artists are really good,
Hmm.
and I feel like
100%.
they're too important to the culture, and I feel like they need to be known. Fuck all the statuses and the billboards. Like I need you to know these records. Like these records exist. This is hip hop. I
Hmm.
don't want to hear people crying like, "Oh, we don't got hip hop," and then you got all of this plethora of good shit, and you just like, I don't.
Yep.
So it's like I feel like they don't know what they want, but
Yep.
it's like as long as these
Yeah.
guys continue, it's like there's no way hip hop could ever be a dying genre. It's just no way. It's just
No.
so much like even rapping aside, just the producers like you name. Like look at all these great producers that we have. Big Ghost, Futurewave, like you said,
Oh, and you
Mallory Knox.
I,
Yes.
Um
I don't
hit
want to
like
cut you off. I don't want to because I don't want to forget about it. But I
yeah.
want to say this to me is probably top 3 best future wave production
Mm,
album. To me,
Oh,
mm,
top 3,
mm,
top three.
oh, what he did
mm,
with
I didn't want
Milenko.
to cut you off. Sorry, but That
No, it's
it's just
okay.
you
I
remind me of that
listen.
when you talk about the producers. So
Yeah,
this is
it's
top
like
3 for me.
What he
Just
did
wanna
with
say.
Wavy Dominicans, with Bori Rock
hmm
and the hidden
Yo,
character.
I love Wavy. Yo,
Yeah,
Like, there's so
uh,
much greatness production wise on this album. You're not wrong,
right.
Milenko. This has to be top 3 future wave production. It has to be top 3.
like I'll give that one. I'll take gorgeous, gorgeous polo sports man
Oh, with Ras
with
Fresco.
yeah
Ras
that
Fresco.
and maybe
Oh,
boss sauce. Boss sauce was crazy good. Head crack with Rome Street was
head
great
Oh
from
my
Future
God,
Wave.
Head Crack was
future
so crazy.
Pressure
future
cooker, fuck. So
future wave and Rome Streets head crack is numero uno for me. Pressure cooker dos with Danielson,
mhm.
Mm.
and number 3 this with ESTEE NACK.
Yeah, production wise.
For sure.
Production
I
wise,
love how we just screamed throughout this review. I want you
because we're fans of hip hop, and it's not just the rapping, like we're just saying, it's the production. Like you got to give good production with good producers or they credit. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You understand what I'm
100%.
saying? And it's
Yeah,
so great that we're getting these good producers. Like even
yeah.
though Nicholas Craven don't have no drums in his beat, he makes Ransom
Still murdered
sound
it. Yeah,
so fucking well. Him, Nicholas Craven and Ransom work so well together. Nicholas Craven and Boldy James work so well together. Like
yeah.
you understand what I'm saying? But also those artists, guys, to be able to go from one producer to another and still be able to have a great effect and appeal with the music. So that talks to the artistry of the artist and of the producer. And I just
100%.
like it.
Mhm.
And I just like it. And it's
Absolutely.
like the last couple of years, like hip hop has really been in a good space. Like I don't care what anybody else is saying, like hip hop is this, hip hop is that. It's like, bro, every day something new comes. Like almost every Friday, Steven, we're sending each other something. It's like I don't understand what people are listening to or where they're getting their opinions from, but it's like, bro, I don't know. It's not
Mm,
dry over here. It's just so
no,
much good music.
yeah,
And I feel like people got to be more open too to
yeah,
different sounds and whatever
Absolutely.
too.
100%. What's
Trap.
your rating on
Yeah,
this?
I want your rating, Trap.
I would give it a 7.
7.
Yeah, I give it a 7.
Milenko?
I'll give it a 8 as well. Give it a 8.
Yeah, I was going with 8 on this one, maybe 8.5.
Mhm.
You know what? This came out a while ago. Like, it was only on
Yeah,
Bandcamp. So having it on streaming, being able to buy it
right.
off the Futurewave website, wavegodmusic.com or something like that, one of those websites. Uh,
hmm
just thank you for taking all of my money
Right.
and
I
everything I
still
work
need
hard
going to
for.
60 seconds.
You ain't getting it. It's not. You can't get it no more. C'est finito.
No, I need to. Yeah, I need to get. I don't want to listen to it on YouTube. I didn't do that. I'm just not gonna listen to it. I'm that type of person. I don't know why I'm weird like that. I'm just not gonna. I'm just not gonna listen to it, even though like I know it's there and I could
Me
go.
too. I haven't
I
listened
don't
to it.
want to. I don't want to go because I don't want to listen to it on YouTube because it's gonna make me mad because I know I'm not gonna be able to hear the
Me too.
production and how it really sounds
YouTube
when you have the
compresses
actual album.
everything.
I'm not trying to do that, and I don't want to do that, and it's gonna piss me off. So I just want
Coño! I'm
to.
sorry. I just
Yeah.
had to do the ad lib.
Uh, boys, it's time for me to go watch the steel cage match between Trick
Oh,
Williams
so great,
and
so great.
uh,
I had it on. So wonderful, wonderful match.
and Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah,
Uh,
the winner faces what's his name, Dragunov for the
y-
NXT champion next week. How you
uh,
feel about the draft coming up?
eh, eh.
They could
Enough.
draft some people back to NXT.
We'll do a review of the
We'll
draft.
do a review.
We'll do a
We'll do a
review of the
review.
draft. Anything else you guys want to add before we get up out of here?
Fuck all those
Ad
other
lib.
fake so-called hip hop podcasts.
Hold on a
Fuck them.
second. Wait a minute. I'm cutting everybody off.
Oh,
Subscribe
oh
to
yes. Before I
Stephen
say fuck
from the
that,
All
everybody, yes.
Time Podcast on YouTube. Stephen from the All
YouTube.
Time Podcast on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Like
And
the
on
video.
Apple.
Like the video. Put a
Yeah.
comment.
Share.
Tell me what you think about these albums. Then
Mhm.
go on the
Please.
Instagram. Follow me, Steven.alltime. Follow Dean Milenko, Dean.Milenko. By the way, shout out to Steven because he told me the other day when we were at the Queens of the Stone Age show that he gave you the name Dean Milenko.
He did.
He did. He said that he did. He did. There was an episode on the old podcast where he called you Dean Milenko.
Oh yeah. Oh wow, that's crazy.
Okay.
I don't know. Okay. Yeah, I've been. It's a long story, but yeah. Okay, that's crazy. That's good.
Trap, what's your handle? I don't know what your handle is. I think it's yours. Is Trap69.
Oh, it could. That's my OnlyFans. You confusing me with my OnlyFans. It's Trap49. I'm gonna change it to Trap all time.
69.
Yeah.
I need the 69 at the end.
Wow, Trap all time. Because I'm 69 and all the time. Oh, okay. Wow.
Wow.
Boys, I am tired. I appreciate you all. Thank you for joining. I am your host, the Ayatollah Hip Hop, the whole damn show, the Radar Podcaster, and one half of the podcast tag team champions of the world.
Hey, yo, it's Milenko. Dean Milenko is the name given by Steven. What's up with you guys? Thank you for listening. And we got 2 words for you.
You already know the other half of the Hip Hop Podcast champions of the world. It's me, your boy, the man, the myth, the legend, the Black Eric Big Show, Trap, fucking what you call it, Jim's Trap, so Jim Duggan. I don't even know what I'm talking about right now. It's getting late. We're out of here. Make sure you subscribe. We're going to be back with another great episode. And remember, that is not a prediction. That's a spoiler.
Nice.
And if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you. Guns
like and
up.
subscribe. Like and subscribe. That's the new shit. Peace.
Peace.